Hello, everyone. Thank you again for joining us to another career talk with IT professionals. And this time we have an IT consultant. But before we continue, you know, looking at our stats in YouTube, 70% of you, more than 70% of you are not subscribed but watching, you know. So if you like our content and want more content similar to this, especially to the IT field, please do subscribe and hit that notification bell. Right. So again, our guest for today is none other than Ruel Nopal. Sir, can you say hi to our team, no, our audience?
Oh, hi. Good evening and good morning, good afternoon from around the world sa mga nanonood or who was listening and watching. So is this live in YouTube or in Facebook too?
No, we're just recording, no, so we're not on live.
Okay,
Uh,
right, okay. So
right.
this is this recording. Okay.
Yes. All right.
So for those who are listening and watching on YouTube, good evening and good afternoon. Good morning. Okay.
All right. So, sir,
So
let's get it on to our first question, which is basically, can you describe for us your role? What is an IT consultant? Lahat ba pwede maging IT consultant or yeah?
Okay, so I am an IT consultant, and technically, as an IT consultant, you have a advanced knowledge of IT related applications, software, technologies, and everything. Because as an IT consultant, it's not actually a job, but more like a advisory level. So
Mm-hmm.
you just don't advise something that you don't know. So every technology that you advise, make sure that you know in some part of your career, you just use that technology, or you actually try to use that. So basically, not everyone can be an IT consultant, but IT consultant can be or most IT that are have as advanced knowledge about the technology that they you are using, they can be an IT consultant. So there are focused IT consultants. So if they are like networking lang and they are really good at IT, this part of technology, then they can be an IT consultant in that particular field. As for me, ang focus ko is mostly cloud and applications kasi yun yung background ko eh. Nag-umpisa ako as developers. So, and then DevOps and then training ng mga ano. So, yun. So, yun yung ano ko, yun yung focus ko. So, once may mga company na nagtatanong sa akin o ano yung mga ano, yun lang yung ina-apply ko. So, outside, kasi pag sinasabing IT, laki yung broad ng ano eh, broad
Yes,
ng
exactly. Ng field.
field. So i-focus ko lang is yung applications and technology infrastructures. So development and cloud infrastructures. So yun.
Right. And as you mentioned, sir, no, since you are an IT consultant, you are an advisory role sometimes, most of the time. What kind of company needs an IT consultant? Is it just small companies, medium companies? Is it large companies that actually
Well,
need an IT
uh,
consultant? Mm.
actually, most of my clients is medium enterprise. So, kasi pag mga mga Fortune 500, medyo mahirap na makapasok doon, and they're actually sometimes they usually they hire you directly. Hindi na sila mag IT consultant kasi marami silang fund marami silang pera. So
Mm-mm.
this medium company usually mga startups and also yung mga they're actually a running company na they are earning, and they are actually they wanted to make sure that they have the right infrastructures, tama ba yung mga uh, technology na gamit nila, and sometimes they ask also about their cost. Pwede kaya pa ba nilang mapababa to? Ano pa yung mga kailangan lang gawin para mas ma-improve pa nila yung pag ano ng customers nila, pag deliver ng customer service para sa mga customers nila or client nila. So,
Mhm. Mhm.
yeah. So, yun yung ano ko, tinuturo. And sometimes, you create, as an IT consultant, you create documentations for their own company, conduct training. So, yun. Halimbawa, pag yung technology na gagamitin nila, wala pa sa stock nila. So, yeah, I create a training, and then sometimes I invite other technologies na mas magaling pa sa akin yung or I mean talagang focus doon sa ano. So, yan, I will invite, ito siya, magaling siya yung magte-train para sa inyo. Yun. So, you just have to connect all the dots. Yan.
Together. Right, right. That's good, no? Ako, sir, I also do some small consulting sometimes, no? And ako, I like to be very operational involved when I'm consulting and actually see the operations on the ground, no? But I think
Mhm.
the difficulty I have right now is that because of the situation, itong medyo lockdown, quarantine, ang hirap ng for me to look at their operations, yung day-to-day nila, no? Um,
Mhm.
how do you feel about remote working in terms of the consulting, no? Is that easier? Is it harder? At least for you, no? Ang remote working setup.
Actually, since 2012, I've been working
Mm.
remotely. So, kahit wala pang COVID, remote na talaga ako.
Mhm.
But that is because some of my clients is actually from other countries. So some of them
Mm.
are Australian, UK, US. So they will find me on LinkedIn or in my own websites, and then some of them are at Facebook. So kahit kung saan lang sila na tutulungan ko sila. And then they are actually contacting me, and they're asking me for technologies that they want to use, or they wanted me to look at their current infrastructures, or
Mhm.
they wanted me to they're asking some of the tech stack that they are using for the current technologies that they have. So
Mhm.
yun. And then sometimes I actually sometimes I won't I mean parang kasama din ako sa team nila. Sometimes I do code a little,
Mhm.
or I give them a piece of advice.
Mhm.
And as a remote, I think as an IT consultant doesn't need to be like nasa office ka talaga to oversee day to day. Kasi usually naman sa IT consultant, hindi talaga, your work is advisory level. So, it's up to them kung tatanggapin nila yung advice mo o hindi. As long as binabayaran ka, yun lang naman yun. And then, uh, um, yun. For ano naman, sa team naman, like, meron silang team, and then they wanted to look at that team.
Mhm.
They wanted to, okay, we want to be agile, we want to use this kind of methodologies. Yeah, you can, pag mga ganon, and then, sasabihin ko lang bakit kailangan convert kayo into agile technologies or something. So, ito yung mga pros and cons sa current yung ginagawa, baka na-disrupt kayo, ganito ganyan. So, yeah. So, as a remote, no problem po. As an IT consultant, remote is not a problem
Mhm.
for working with them.
All right, no? And since you touched a little on this already, no, let's go back a little and let's go into your journey, no, from college or even before that, until you felt like you were ready to be an IT consultant, na.
Okay, actually, my background is actually from civil engineering talaga yung background ko for the first 6 years. Actually, nasa construction talaga.
Wow,
So,
wow, very interesting, huh? Mhm.
so I work abroad for as a AutoCAD operator. So talagang design ang ginagawa namin, design, planning, punta ng site, uh, and then planning everything. Kasi usually, yun yung trabaho ko.
Mm-mm.
And the reason why I just changed career, because nung nasa abroad ako, iba yung ko sabi ko, parang mas okay maging IT ngayon kasi talaga, although mahilig na talaga ako sa code, kahit noon pa man. Kumbaga, kahit nung nasa workforce na ako as an engineer, talagang nag-aaral ako mag-code. So, bumili akong libro. So, the first book that I have is, I think, Visual Basic 6. .NET pala, sorry. So, yun. Inaaral-aral ko hanggang sa after siguro mga 3 to 4 years. So, nung bumalik ako ng Pilipinas, sinubukan kong mag-IT. So, natanggap naman ako as a designer, and then nagiging developer, and then medyo gumaling ka rin ng konti, naging lead developer, and then nung gumaling-galing pa konti, medyo nagkaroon ng lakas ng loob kasi that time nag-freelance na ako, full-time freelance developer na talaga ako. So medyo nung kapanahonan ko talaga boom yung freelancing, and since kunti lang talaga nag-IT or so mga freelancers is talagang tiba-tiba sila pagdating sa projects, and lalo dito sa Pilipinas kasi kukunti pa lang nung time na 2009 kasi ako nag-umpisa. So ayun. After nun, naging lead developer, so nakaipon ng konti, nag-start ako ng company. So yun. So my company is actually web hosting and web development. So mostly management din ng host, nag-host din ako ng So ayun. So nung mga medyo nakilala ako, so yung mga ibang company ayaw nilang mag-host, but they wanted me as their outside eyes para sa company nila. So doon so kumbaga yung pagiging IT consultant is not actually a path na gusto ko. Nagkaroon lang ako ng time na kumbaga yung mga company na tumingin, okay, maganda pala yung ganyan. Sige, kung nga kitang advisor ko. So yun yung nag-umpisa ng hanggang nakakuha ng client, and then naging IT consultant yun. So it started with my own company. So sadly, my company is I just closed that company last 2020. So ngayon, full-time IT consultant.
Right. No. Cool. And you did touch a little. Sorry, you did touch a little about this, no? As a IT consultant, you're an advisory role. But do you personally, do you still code? And if you do, what's your current stack?
Okay, actually, I'm still coding. Actually, kakatapos nga lang ng event din kanina, online event. I'm talking about the DevOps and CI/CD, and then a little bit demo for a event. So I'm still coding kasi nga I'm not just an IT consultant but also a developer. So some of my clients are more on a hands-on level, so I still do code, and some of my clients are more on advisory level. So that's why. So parang I'm wearing multiple hats. Kasi freelancers, as a freelancers, yun yung yun yung kung saan may client na ganito, pasok ka doon. So, yeah, I still do code, and my stack is actually PHP, MySQL, and front-end Vue.js. And I'll do also Ruby, so Ruby, Postgre, and any framework, front-end framework. So, wala problema sa akin yun. And I'll do also DevOps. So, yun.
Right. Great. I wanted to ask a little bit more about your current passion. Is because I find it that you have a lot of interest now from IT consulting to making your own company, and even like you said, you just gave a talk. What is your current passion, or like is there anything you are focused on in particular at the moment?
I am an IT. I also am an entrepreneur and a startup startup wannabe. So yeah, I'm developing right now a startup, but I'm still not willing to reveal it itself kasi under development pa siya, under wrap pa siya. So
Underground, no?
so I'm still developing it, and we are my team, me and my team. So we are still developing it. So my current focus or passionate about is actually entrepreneurship and uh, development. Also, a part of that as a learning process is to teach what you learn. Kasi pag na-teach mo yung learning mo, mas matagal makalimutan yun eh. Yun yung yun yung kasi parang sinabi mo ulit, paulit-ulit ng so mas magtatagal sa utak mo yun. So,
Yes.
yeah. So, passions ko din yung tumulong sa IT community. That's why I'm a part of the community. And, but my primary goal is actually to start another company after my other company closed. So, yeah.
Right. And plug ko na lang din, no? So, since na-mention na dito, if you guys are a startup and you are bootstrapped or, you don't have any funding yet, you are qualified for an AWS startup, AWS Activate, no? So, our audience,
Mhm.
since
Yeah.
I'm an AWS startup scout, you can approach me and I can assist you in getting AWS onboarded for you.
Oh yeah, oo nga pala, nabigyan din pala ako. Nag-apply ako and thank you
Oh,
doon.
yes.
So,
No problem. No problem.
hindi ko pa nagamit. Kasi siyempre nasa local pa. So medyo so
I suggest you activate it already because there's a dashboard that
mm,
you and it in the dashboard that you when you activate it the AWS Activate you also get access to trainings, access to even
mm,
VCs. No? So that's why I suggest you
ayun,
activate it.
actually na-activate ko na. Nabawasan ng konti, mga 0.001 kasi ginamit ko yun sa CDN, but nothing na malaki.
That's fine. That's totally fine. No? All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, sir, as we are approaching towards our end, no, maybe a few more question lang on my end, which is, no, I noticed that you are always, being an entrepreneur mindset and always, looking for racket in other, para racket din.
Opportunities.
Yeah. How do you opportunities? Yeah, correct. What kind of success are you looking for, or what? How do you define success, or
What,
when will you say na you are successful? No.
actually, if I have to compare myself from 1 year ago and today, I think it's a success for me because I do a lot. I learned a lot. Success is to me is a continuation of things that you do from where you started a year ago and then today or just last month. So something that you have achieved every now and then, that's a success already para sa akin. And long term and short term. So I do have goals. So I have goals like, okay, sana itong company i-build ko ay magiging unicorn. Mga ganon. But small step. Parang chop mo siya sa mga maliliit na parang agile methodology of achieving goals. So chopin mo ng konti and then i-move mo ng kumaga success mo siya. Gagawin mo siya and then when you reach that goal and then the other steps naman so yun yung definition pa ng success.
Yeah. So if I'm interpreting right, success is not one big thing, no? It's small steps, no? Parang maliit na steps, no? Ganyan.
Mga maliliit na goals na na-achieve mo. So it's already a success. Kasi kasi pag nag-build ka ng something na malaki, dapat sa mga step mo kasi mahirap mo i-build na agad na yung malaki, mabigat yun eh.
True. So success, guys, is not a wall. Okay? It is either a ladder or parang steps, no? Ganyan.
Yes.
Right. Okay, great. No? And sir, last na to. Ito na talaga pinaka-last, no? Any
Okay.
shout out and advice how to be you po, or what you will say to our audience?
Oh, okay. So, as an IT, o kahit hindi ka IT, start small. If you have something that you are passionate about, or you have something na talagang kahit sa panaginip nandun yung isip mo, start agad. And then don't worry about failures, kasi failures is actually learning curve for you to start again. Kasi kahit kung paulit-ulit kayo nagkakamali, the next time ano ka na, veterano ka na sa pagkamali, madali na lang iwasan yon. So, yun. So, start agad. Kahit na alam mong wala ka pang alam, start mo na. Hanapin mo na kaagad yung yung passion mo, or kung meron ka na noon, start mo na agad. Wala nang kahit wala kang pera, everything, start mo na agad. Kasi susunod noon, yung mga maliliit na achievements, yun yung pag na-compound mo yon, malaki yon.
Right, no? So again, thank you, Sir Ruel, no, for your insights. And again, to our audience, I hope you guys like today's show, no, and you've learned something. And if you want to follow up with questions, of course, you can always leave it below in our comment section, no, down below here. And and so, sir, that's it.
Thank
Um,
you, thank you, thank you, thank
thank
you.
you very much. Sir Ruel's information will also be placed in the description
Thank
box
you.
below. All right. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
And of course, if you like our content, don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell.